Hello, I'm Douglas Maddy and welcome to Altered Perceptions. In these videos we're going to be looking at the performances from the TV show Penn and Teller's Fool Us. I'm a magician with over 25 years of experience and I'm going to be watching these episodes alongside various guests so that we can get the perspective from an audience member's point of view as well.
Well, they're talking code. Is that a real thing or?
Kind of.
Please take out your cell phones, your mobile phones, and turn them on. And turn the ringers up full. We want you all loud and connected. Hold it up just like this. Because we're going to pick one person from the audience to bring their cell phone on stage and video this first trick from an angle that will show that person how it's done. So if you have a mobile phone and you know how to use it, just hold it up just like this. We're going to find someone that has that. And we want to give you a promise. We all have personal information on our cell phones. We want to promise you we won't monkey with any of that. All we will do is let you video this trick from an angle that'll show you how it's done. And I think Teller's found someone who knows how to use her cell phone. What's your name, please, ma'am? Stephanie. Right over here, please, Stephanie. I'm going to move you over on this side of me, if I may. And Stephanie, this is your cell phone right here. And you have someone with you, Stephanie, that knows your cell phone number? And who's that, Stephanie?
That's my friend Emily.
Your friend Emily? Now, Emily, if you call Stephanie, please, I'm going to hold the phone up so we'll all hear the ringtone. And I'll answer this for you. This is Emily, is this right? Hello, Emily. What are you wearing? Emily, this is the number we're going to buy. You're going to have to call twice more during this bid. So be ready for that, okay, Emily? Would you turn this into video mode and start the video rolling? Is it rolling now? Is it rolling now? Okay, let's give you a little thing if we have it. Good evening, my name is Penn. Gillespie, part of Teller. We are Penn and Teller, and Fool Us is proud to present Stephanie. Yeah, give it up for her now. Oh, it's so beautiful. You're going to love this. Oh, you're going to go crazy for you, Stephanie. Stephanie, strike a pose. Strike a pose. There you go. Oh, Stephanie, this is beautiful. And Stephanie, we would never have
She's really getting into it.
Yeah. A video of you with a very famous person. You can pose here with Elton John. Actually, it's over here in England, so it's not just Elton John. It is Sir Elton John. Come over here, Stephanie, right over here, and just stand right there. There he is. There's the Sir. There's the Elton John. There's Stephanie, and there's our wonderful audience right there. Beautiful. Stephanie, stand right on that double blue dot, please. There's a cup underneath your chair there. Could you give that to me, please? Yeah, we put this under before. This is well, you open it up yourself, Stephanie. That's an empty coffee cup. It's clean and dry there. I want you to know that because we're going to put your phone inside it. And when you're watching this back, Stephanie, at this point you'll still hear.
Oh, I've seen this before.
It's going to go all white, of course.
In the American
you get to have a guess of how it's
No,
afterwards.
Penn and Teller do it in the American one.
Yeah, there's only so many tricks they can do, I suppose.
Oh, sorry, Stephanie. And I'm a juggler too. That's the weird part.
Nearly threw it.
Yeah, that's the most difficult part.
Oh, it is when he throws it like that, isn't it?
Catches it, yeah.
Focus right on that, Stephanie. Focus on your phone.
I like Teller's shoes.
It's lucky Teller got that because he nearly went out the bloody
That's
back.
what I'm saying. I like Teller's shoes.
So that's just clear. What is it? Distraction or?
When I can't find my cell phone, what I usually do is I have my wife call it. And then everybody listens in for the ringtone. And if we all listen and all point to where the sound's coming from, we can usually then find the cell phone. So surprised, Stephanie, the places we found my cell phone. Very, very unusual. Now, Emily, if you would please, call Stephanie's phone again, and let's all listen. And if you hear where it's coming from, please point to it. If you hear it, point to it. Sounds like it's coming from right down there. They're very well lit.
Yeah, it's basically every single person knows how it's done apart from that.
Well, it says do not touch.
Not quite.
Well, didn't they?
Since you came into the theater? Take the box, pick it up, would you please? The box is sealed shut, is that right?
Yeah.
Would you hand that box forward? Now keep handing your front to this corner. And this woman right here in the corner, when the box comes to you, would you stand up and walk across the gap? to Stephanie here. Now, Stephanie, come over here in the center of the stage here. Now, look at that box carefully. It's sealed shut. Is that right? Would you open that box, please? Pull the tape off, and then lift the top off the box.
This is what I love about Penn and Teller, is that there's so much here that could go wrong or slow down the performance, and yet everything's so smooth, even though the complicated things to be doing.
What's it called fish in there for?
It's the old
Fishes.
mobile phone in fish trick.
looks like a place. Oh, it's a tilapia.
Fish, but now aquafarmed all over. And I want you to use your nose, Stephanie, and make sure, you've already said this, make sure that is indeed a real fish. Tell her we'll hold it up for you. Give that a whiff. Is that a real fish? Okay, so Stephanie, hold this microphone right here. Would you please hold it right to the fish's gills? Now, you're going to hear a few things here. You're going to hear the fish's head being cut off. Emily, hold the phone again. Hear the fish's head being cut off. Call it, Emily. You're going to hear the guts spilling out. Then from deep inside the bowels
So random, isn't it?
of the fish.
Oh, it's actually got insides. They haven't even gutted the fish, look.
From inside the
That's
fish,
gross.
Stephanie,
Yeah,
Why wouldn't they at least clean the fish out?
it's in a bag.
pictures on it. Is that everything there, Stephanie? Is that indeed your phone? Are you sure, Stephanie? Now, Stephanie, as promised, Stephanie, you have a video on there that will show you how the trick was done. Can you give us one promise? Don't watch that video till our show's over tonight. You do that? And you can clean your hands off. There's a little bit of fish guts on there. Thank you so much, Stephanie. That's Stephanie right there. That's Emily.
Guts, unfortunately, lots of fish guts, but the great illusionists themselves.
So if you want to pause that a sec and tell us what you thought of that trick. Was that a good trick, bad trick, from a layman's perspective?
I saw how it was done, didn't we?
Did we?
Yeah. I think did we?
Well, how did the
threw the phone over his shoulder.
how did the phone get into the fish?
Someone put it in the fish.
How?
Well, I don't know. It went off backstage, didn't it?
There's a video you can watch online where people are uploading, because obviously he starts filming at the beginning with their phone.
Yeah.
And it does film non-stop. So people have uploaded to YouTube where the phone actually is at all times. So you can see when it's at the side of the stage and when it comes back on again and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So did you see the switch of the phones? Because he couldn't really have thrown that phone over the shoulder in case it did land on the floor and the bucket didn't catch it.
Yeah, I thought there may have been a switch beforehand, but I didn't see it at all.
Okay.
So that's just a diversion it's a double diversion. It's a diversion to think the audience is seeing a diversion, but in turn there's already been something else has happened. Ah.
And it's from Slidini's. What they're doing is they're doing Slidini's tissues overhead.
What?
Slidini.
Is that like Stallone?
No, it's Tony Slidini.
Yeah.
You know, like Harry Houdini. Haven't got Eeny at the end of their name, like
Oh.
Cardini.
So you're Dougie.
I'm Madini.
Oh.
Yeah, so it's tissues overhead. So, and I do it in my act as well. So you go 1, 2, 3, and then you literally chuck it over the head, so the whole audience sees that it's disappeared. But to the person, like when you saw a reaction when he stood on the coffee cup, and so someone caught something. But what happened was they got everybody to take out their phones and hold them up, so Teller could go around and have a look to see. There you go. It's lovely, isn't it, once you think about it? And so those details are really important, because something that's minuscule early on becomes a big thing later on.
Yeah,
because
because
he's
you
selecting.
just assume it to be part of the routine.
Yeah,
and
but
it's
he's
not
literally got everyone to
actually-
hold up the phone. So now all he has to do is
Yeah.
look for the phone of one of the ones that he's got, and then all they've got to do is switch it. But I won't go into the whole how it was all done. But how do you think the switching worked? Because I will talk about that, because it's been revealed on YouTube, because Penn and Teller allow them to upload it to YouTube to be revealed. And that's one of the great things I will say about Penn and Teller, is that it's like when they're cups and balls and you can see through the cups,
Yeah,
and
that's
stuff, they
transparent
come up with a routine and then they reveal it, so you can appreciate the kind of the intellectual thought that's gone on behind it. So I'll talk about stuff that they've already revealed. So how do you think they did the switch with the phone from the one that, because obviously Teller goes into the audience, he sees the phone, and then they do a switch.
I can't remember.
How do you think
I
the
can't
switch
remember
occurred?
what happened because it went on for quite a while. I can't actually remember. I was kind of endowed in it.
A bit like when we saw, I know this is thinking here, but when we saw the David Copperfield one and Teller turned and I said, oh, there's a switch there. Sometimes it's so blatantly obvious you can't even see it because there's a thing in magic called paint it red. So if you don't want somebody to see something, you make it big and as bold as possible. So what was in that performance that didn't need to be there?
In this one?
Yeah.
I can't,
What was big and bold? The Elton John figure that came out.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
There was no... exactly. And that's a bit like with the monkey or the gorilla that comes out and you forgot that you saw it.
What was the logic they used
to have a selfie with it? Because he was doing a video recording, wasn't he? And he said, oh, because we're in England. In America, they do it on Las Vegas. They do it with Chris Angel, like a poster of a cardboard cutout of Chris Angel. So they get a celebrity but it's important that the celebrity has jewellery on. Because Teller goes to put on some, I think it's Teller, goes on to put on some jewellery, and that's when the swap occurs, yeah. Because they put it over the neck, so the phone goes in the back, and then they pick up the spare phone as it comes out, so it's one continuous movement. So the reason for the Elton John cardboard cutout was to switch the phones. But they just used it as a gag, like they did with the David Copperfield when Teller turned away and he went into his pocket and there was that punch. So every time there's a gag or a joke, there's usually some sort of magic occurring, because when people are laughing or paying attention to a joke, they can't pay attention to a switch that's going on. So that's interesting. So he goes out into the audience, he gets a phone that's similar to the one that they've got backstage, they do a switch on stage, then that way if the phone, because that's the most dangerous thing, is if the phone over the head thing goes wrong, because it could hit Teller, it could go off the stage. That's the thing that they've really got to practice that. And then it's just, again, I won't reveal the rest of the trick, but then it just ends up in the fish in the audience. But again, if you watch the videos, if you watch the videos of what the woman actually filmed or the guy or whoever they have on stage, you'll be able to see what's happening and how it gets in the fish. But did you like it as a trick? Was it good, bad? To me, just from the outset, I don't like the whole thing of having a fish. I just don't like it, but I understand why they use it and incorporate it, because it invokes a lot of emotion. And it's just random,
I don't
disgusting,
get the
weird.
fish, but other than that, it was fine.
Yeah, but they've done it for years.
I'll give it a 7 out of 10. You like a perfectly average trick. Look, it's not one that's going to be like, oh my god, but at the same time, it's just a bit better than your standard one where you just, because it's a double bluff. Anything that can double bluff you to make you think one thing and then take it back again, so it's good. So yeah,
the thing that I like is that there's one effect for her, there's one effect for the audience, and then there's the real factor.
That's what I mean. Yeah, it's got multiple
layers.
Yeah, but it's still quite because really the actual basis of the trick is just the phone reappearing in the fish.
Yes,
slipping on the cup and reappearing, but it went on. It was dragged out into maybe a 8-9 minute clip.
Yeah, and I was going to do this. I was literally when mobile phones first came out and they were like flip, and they were still doing the video recording. Just before the smartphones came out, there was a time whereby like you had the Blackberries and stuff. Was it Blackberry or Blueberry? Yeah,
no, Blackberry.
Blackberry, and so the Blackberries came out. Bloody hell, that's going back. The Blackberries came out, and I was going to do a thing of recording it on the Blackberry, make it disappear, and then it appear in the audience, kind of a thing. And I had a very similar thing, but I wasn't going to do it in a fish, and I wasn't going to do this whole elaborate thing. I was literally just going to have a kind of see-through silk and just do it all in one movement. We could actually film that and show you what that would look like, because I never got around to doing it, but it was a great vanish where you literally just pick somebody's phone up out the audience, vanish it in front of them, and it appears in a box. But I like the fact that they've done it and they've added all these different elements of having the Elton John and the switch and all that kind of stuff and the fish, and it makes it more random and memorable.
I don't know if it's just because I've been up since 4:30 this morning that I forgot Elton John, or if you would just forget it, but it was just like, now I remember it, like what the hell was actually the point of
Yes. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and you'll be notified of our latest videos.